Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Battle of the Pens. This is week 2. So this past week I tested out the Tombow Twin Tip pens, markers, whatever they are. Sorry, they're not called Twin Tip, they're called Twin Tone, and I cannot get that straight in my head. It's wrong everywhere. I tested these out in my erincondren planner this week. Now what we're going to do is review them. I'll share some thoughts on them, and then we're going to do our pen test with our Papermate Flair, and that is the pen that I'm going to use all of next week. So, okay, right off the bat, I like these pens. I like them a lot. But I want to like them a little bit more than I do. And the reason for that, let me show you a little bit of this past week. This is the week, so I used only this black pen in here, and I did use both sides, as you'll see. I love the thicker tip. It's actually a really good weight. I would like it a little more if it was a tiny bit thinner, but I mean, that's really kind of nitpicking. The thin tip and I are having a harder time getting along in this planner. And I want to say that part of it is not the pen's fault. Well, I don't know if I want to say that. Here's the thing. I like it better when I'm writing on the actual planner, which I don't do often. Like I did this week, but I don't normally do that, and I'm probably not going to do this bit at the bottom going forward. I have some other ideas for where to keep these to-do lists. But I like the look of it better there than I do on a sticker. And the reason for that, and I don't know if you can see it, is that on the sticker, it comes out quite faded. You know, this black is black. Like, there's no mistaking that that is a solid black pen. And I really like that. This is not so much like that. And there was a part of me that thought, okay, well, maybe it's just because it's new. Sometimes you have to break in the tip, and that's okay. Like, if that's the case, I'm all right with that. Like, I just grabbed this paper, and now that I am like a week into using it, the tip is a little bit softer, so it does write a little bit more smoothly, because that's the other thing, is that I love my writing with the thicker tip, but down here, like, I do not like the way my writing looks there, especially if you compare it to that was when I used more than one pen in. So this one I used only the erincondren dual tip, the thinner tip one, fine tip, and I just think my writing looks like it's a lot prettier there than it does like here. So, you know, as I'm writing this, it's definitely that's not the word, it's dog. It's definitely broken in a little bit. So if I were to write out the same to-do list as, say, here, you know, I'm saying film, whoa, rec 3-2, pics, edit, hobo, pics, upload. It's a little better. It's a little more natural to write with it, but it's nothing like the erincondren one that I've been loving so far. I'm just writing out the same as this one. So I mean, it's better. It's definitely, it looks more natural. So I'll give it that. I really want, like, I really want this pen to be the winner, because this is probably going to be the easiest pen for me to buy in bulk that does have a, like, a thinner tip. That said, I do have to order them from the US if I want to order like just black ones, because I did the pen test with all of these colors. I did not touch a single one of these markers over the course of the week, other than the black one. So, you know, I love all the colored pens. Same thing with erincondren, love the colors, but I rarely use them. I just want like a shipment of black ones. So we're gonna score it. I'm gonna try to be as fair as possible, but I wanna be honest as well. So for feel, just the way, so do I like the way it feels to write? After a week, I'm going to say, so if I was scoring this the day that I started writing in my planner for last week, it would have been like a 0. I'm gonna say, I want to be fair, but honestly, I think I'm gonna have to say a 2, because it just isn't as nice as I wanted it to be. The consistency is fine. I'm gonna say 4 because it does sort of, it gets a little, it doesn't really cut out, but it does sort of get a little bit wonky at times. Appearance, so how does my writing look and does it smear? And then the overall look, it does not smear. It's actually quite quick to dry, if you remember last week from the test. How does my writing look like overall? Not the greatest. So I would say if I was just doing how my writing looks, I would have given it a 2. I'm going to give it a 3 for the non-smear. Okay, availability. Can I buy the pen individually? Yes, I can. I do have to order it from the States, so if I want just black ones, I can't get those just those black ones here. So I'm gonna say 3, because they are in American prices. They are, and there is shipping costs associated with them. So what do we have here? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 out of a possible 20. So that's actually quite a bit lower than I thought this pen was going to score, which is interesting. I'm gonna score this one. I'm gonna be honest though, like overall, even though, so both of the ones that are twin tips, which is this one and the erincondren, it's really gonna come down more to the score of the fine tip, because I use that far more often. Okay, the feel for this one, I love it. Like, I will give that one a 5. The consistency, for sure, 5. Appearance, so how does my writing look? Does it smear? No. Overall look, so I'm gonna give it a 4, because like it all looks great, it doesn't smear, but it is, like, it's not ideal in that it is a little bit thicker than like what I would say would be super useful for a pen. And availability, we will give it the same score as this one because it's the same pen. So that's 17. So that's a pretty high score for the thicker tipped ones. So that's our score for the Tombow Twin Tone. The colors are beautiful. The thicker tip is great. I think if this one, like if it was, because it's a very, very thin tip. I can't remember what the thickness is on it. I mentioned it in last week's video. If it was like 0.1 thicker, I think this would be probably perfect. Oh, it's a 0.3, which is pretty thin for me. I tend to write better with something that's around like a 0.5-ish. But a 0.5 once it like softens a bit is more like a 0.6, sometimes 0.7, and that's a bit much, which is why I was hoping that this one, when it softened a bit, would be perfect. We're not quite there yet. I am gonna keep using this a little bit over the next few weeks because, oh, so this is the other thing I wanted to mention. So I've been using a sort of hybrid Frankenplan, erincondren Happy Planner for my day-to-day that has bits from a whole bunch of different petite planners. So I've been using the Daily Petite Undated in here, and this, so all the writing, actually everything except the check marks, is the Tombow Twin Tone. So that's the thicker end of it. No, I'm lying. So that is, and everything except the check marks and these numbers here. So that's the thicker tip. This is the thinner tip. The numbers and these headers actually are the thinner tip from the erincondren one because I wanted them to stand out more than I can get this one to, but this thicker tip was going to be too big for that. I really like the way this looks in here. Like, I don't know if it's because the paper is a different color. Like, certainly this is a lot whiter than this one. It also has a different texture. This is quite a bit coarser than this one is. I don't know what the difference is, but I love this pen in here. So I am going to keep using it in here just to keep sort of wearing it in a little bit and see how it goes. I did want to mention that because it does get points for that. The thing is that, or, you know, it is useful. I like it because of that. But the whole point was to find planner pen piece in my erincondren life planner. So we will say goodbye for now to these Tombow Twin Tone pens. Definitely not the worst pen I've ever used by far. So I'm just gonna put these aside and we are going to move on to our pen test for the Papermate Flair. So this week in my planner, the only pen I will use is this Papermate Flair. I'm sort of not that excited about this, only because I do tend to like a thinner tip than this one offers. Again, when they're brand new, they're a little bit thinner. One of these is brand new, and I honestly could not tell you right now which one it is. So we will test these out, and then this is the pen that I will use all of this week. So I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit so we can do our writing test. So our first one, let me zoom you in a little more here. Okay, the first one is black. Oh, that's the old one. That actually feels quite nice on this paper, more than I really expected it to. I don't think I've ever used the Papermate Flairs in here. There isn't a brown one, so we're skipping that. Actually quite like this more than I was expecting to. Okay, coral. It's not completely coral, but it was the closest thing I could find. Let's do, I think I switched over here. So we'll do, yeah, so it's a lot different, which is fine. I just wanted to find matching colors. That's probably why I left this one out. Whoops, you guys can't even see, sorry. Light pink. It's funny, you know, because these were some of the first pens that I used in my planner. Some of the first that I bought for my planner. And I think it's like, you know, you just sort of forget that you have some of them, or you move on to other pens and you think they're like the be all and end all, and then, oh, I wrote light blue. Dark blue. and you forget that there was nothing ever wrong with any of these, and they're actually quite nice. Aqua, and then our last one is light green. So I think I thought that this pen was a little bit too thick to use every day. But to be honest with you, I kind of like it. I'm gonna do my writing test, so I think I should have room here to write the whole thing. So okay, so that writes nicely. Like, they all write nicely on the paper. Let's try it on here. Okay. They both look really nice. So this might be a surprising week. Let me zoom you back out and we'll compare them. Okay, so if we're looking at the three, this is definitely thicker tipped than this one. I don't know what the tip is supposed to be, like what the measurement is supposed to be on it, on these ones. I've never looked them up. Definitely thicker than that. Definitely thinner than that. I think, I mean, I had to write smaller here to get it all in, but I think I like the way that looks more than this one. It's definitely like a truer, darker black, that's for sure. I do know these tips soften out as well. I think every pen does. At least I've certainly never found one that hasn't. So I won't fault a pen for that. But again, that comes into availability. How easily can I repurchase them? If, you know, because really, like, so I was using the erincondren ones since the beginning of January, and I would say by the beginning of February it was really time to replace it. Now I just to get that crispness that I like in my planner, I pushed it to, I used it for most of February because I didn't want to, I only have 2 black ones. If I liked pink in my planner, I would be set for life, because I think I have 14 pink ones that came in various kits. You know, if I can figure out a way to order a set of just 6 pens from like black pens from erincondren that would last me 6 months, I'd be quite happy with that at 1 pen a month. But I can't do that because of where I live, and they don't sell them on the site in packs of 6. So that's kind of why we're here. So anyway, I am not dreading this week in my planner as much as I was before I did this writing test. So I'm glad that I did it. We will see. So ultimately it's this one that's going to count towards determining the winner, not this one. So Papermate Flair is got to beat 12 so far. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for week 2 of Battle of the Pens, where we are trying a new pen each week for 4 weeks and scoring them. Week 1 is over. We did our Tombow Twin tip, and now we are moving on to Papermate Flair. I will be back a week from today with the Papermate Flair results and score. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you all again soon. Bye, friends.